Hello, I'm going to talk about the topic of sex education, and schools should not teach abstinence only for sex education. Sex education is one of the most controversial issues in the United States. The abstinence only approach to sex education is not supported by the extensive body of scientific research on what works to protect young people from HIV or AIDS or sexually transmitted infections and unplanned pregnancy. An assessment of the peer-reviewed published research revealed no evidence that abstinence-only programs delay sexual initiation or reduce STIs or pregnancy. By contrast, credible research clearly demonstrates that some comprehensive sex education or abstinence plus programs can achieve positive behavioral changes among young people and reduce STIs, and that these programs do not encourage young people to initiate sexual activity earlier or have more sexual partners. The sex education debate in America takes on special relevance because sex and its related health implications is a reality in the lives of many young people. Sexuality education in the schools is a hot button issue in part because it is closely intertwined with social and parental interpretation of right and wrong, and with people's feeling about religion and personal autonomy. Yet, sex education is also intended to serve a very practical health purpose to reduce STIs, HIV, AIDS, and unintended pregnancy among country's young people. These are goals of sex education that virtually everyone agrees on. The debate centers on a question of methods and the ancillary goals of advocates on all sides. Young people and parents appear to be largely united on the needs for more information about sexual health and sexual self-protection. According to a national survey of teens, 51% say they need more information about how to get tested for HIV and AIDS and other STIs, and 50% want more information on STIs other than HIV and AIDS. 39% want more information about abortion. And lastly, 30% want more information on how to use condoms. The growing prominence of the abstinence-only approach will likely have serious and unintended consequences by denying young people access to the information they need to protect themselves. And abstinence-only programs risk alienating the young people at highest risk of negative health outcomes by promoting a one-size-fits-all vision of adolescence that matches the true experiences of only a minority of youth. Also, unprotected health activity among young people can have severe personal, social, and financial cost. Unprotected self Unprotected sex among youth results in nearly 4 million STIs each year, many with serious long-term consequences. The great majority of the 10,000 annual new HIV infections among people under 22 through sexual activity. The United States still has the highest rates of STIs and teen pregnancy of any industrialized nation. Unfortunately, federal policy is grossly out of step with the wishes of most parents and students, as well as the scientific research. Since the early 1980s, Congress has devoted significant resources to abstinence-only curricula that are less likely to include information about birth control, STD prevention, and sexual orientation. The evidence tells us that these trends represent a dangerous disservice disservice to America's younger generation. Responding to the continuing health threats of HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy among young people, widely respected Institute of Medicine of the National Academy of Sciences recently recommended eliminating congressional, federal, and local requirements that public funds to be used for abstinence-only education. And surveys constantly show that the public wants school to deliver strong abstinence message alongside information about self-protection for young people who find themselves in sexual situation. It is not a good idea to prevent them from what they are very curious about because it is the most basic instinct of human. Just prevent and not discussing about the sex issue one will not just stop them to have sexual relationship in a wrong way. Schools should implement the effective sex education program that can work best for the students.